As you can probably imagine, SEO professionals conduct SEO audits pretty regularly. These SEO audits obviously help them identify areas where improvements can be made. That said, SEO audits have a tendency to become sprawling and overwhelming. Depending on the state of your website, you may end up getting a lot of information, maybe even too much, and you may not always know exactly how to tackle it or from where to even start it first. So to help you solve that problem, we have identified a list of 8 common SEO fixes that are quick, simple, and easy. The most bang for your buck in terms of simplicity and time. So let's go. They are: Number 1, the meta title is still one of the most important aspects to focus on in an SEO audit, and it is a very simple issue to identify and to fix. Now, apart from being an important place to put your main keyword in, the meta title also plays a big role in driving click-through rates from the SERPs. Better meta titles get a higher click-through rate, which effectively increases your organic traffic without any extra effort. Moreover, higher click-through rates also send positive signals to search engines that your web pages cater to search engine users more than other pages. This may also help improve the search engine rankings of your site in the long run. So if you've overlooked your meta title, give yourself a little slap in the face, wake up, and fix it. There's really no excuse to ignore this. Number 2, meta descriptions. The same concept applies here as well. SEO issues related to meta description are very easy to identify and to fix, and they can also yield excellent results in terms of better search engine rankings for targeted keywords and for higher click-through rates. Some of the common meta description issues that you may find during an SEO audit are missing meta descriptions, descriptions that are too long that Google ends up truncating. This typically happens if they are over 155 characters. Meta descriptions that are too short, meta descriptions without any relevant primary or secondary keywords, and irrelevant meta descriptions with poor click-through rates. So here's another area where we recommend taking a few seconds and being more strategic in your approach. Meta descriptions are important for SEO and allow you to add even more keywords, primary and secondary. Number 3, website loading speed. The speed at which your website loads has become a major search engine ranking factor. Now, granted, fixing this issue may not be as simple as fixing some of the other issues, like your meta titles and descriptions, so this might not always count as a quick fix issue. But in any case, the benefits of doing so are enormous. Improvements to your website's loading speed benefits almost all web pages on the site. Among the many steps you can take to do this, depending on your website's unique set of issues, of course, are some of the following. And by the way, you can explore all of these topics further in our videos and in our articles database. To speed up your website's load time, you can look at minimizing HTTP requests, optimizing your CSS, for instance, consolidating it into one sheet instead of many, then minifying both your CSS and your JavaScript, reducing and/or updating any plugins you may be using, optimizing all of the images you have on your site, and making sure that browser caching is enabled so that users that visit your site more than once don't need to download that exact same content over and over and over again. There are a myriad of ways to optimize your website's page loading speed, and doing so is absolutely essential not only for user experience, but for your overall SEO efforts. Number 4, keyword optimization is also an integral part of improving your web pages, especially if an SEO audit has exposed inefficiencies. A thorough SEO audit can give you perspective, as well as detailed insights and information on how different competitor pages are performing, what keywords they are targeting and how, and which keywords you missed the first time around. We recommend shortlisting a bunch of primary and secondary keywords for each web page that you want to update. The next step would be to include those keywords in strategic hotspots on the web page, namely in the meta title of the page, in the meta description, within your H1, H2, and H3 tags, in your opening paragraph or in the first 100 words, as well as in your closing paragraph or in the last 100 words. In addition, we also recommend creating links to the target web page from other relevant pages on your site by using primary and secondary keywords as the anchor text. While it may take a bit more time, keyword optimization is a simple practice that can help boost rankings after an SEO audit. Number 5, fixing orphan pages. Large websites particularly may have some siloed pages that are especially hard for search engine crawlers to find. These so-called orphan pages are those that don't have any links pointing to them. And because they are out of the network, so to speak, they are harder to be found, indexed, and ranked. Now the good news is that orphaned pages are very easy to find and to fix. And once search engine crawlers find them, these pages then get ranked and may start bringing in organic traffic. It's like utilizing an untapped source of additional traffic. If you Google how to find orphan pages, there's a really good step-by-step tutorial that you can follow on the subject here. Number 6, other crawl issues. Can the search engine crawlers find and crawl all of the pages on your site? If not, this needs fixing. These crawl issues can be site-wide, like server errors, DNS errors, a robots.txt failure, and so on. Or URL errors, those that are related to specific pages on a website. There can be many reasons for crawl errors. Some of the most common reasons are sitemap errors, incorrect temporary or permanent redirects, server-related problems, outdated or incorrect URLs, 403 status codes denied access, pages that are blocked by your robots.txt file, or no-follow links. Fixing many of these crawl issues is generally relatively simple. For example, making small tweaks to the robots.txt file, removing no-follow links, and fixing outdated URLs shouldn't take long, and it's very much worth it to do so. Even if you don't have access to a premium SEO tool to scour your site, you can identify and fix many crawl issues by using Google Search Console. Again, there's another great step-by-step guide that you can find by Googling Crawl Errors Google Console. Number 7, updating older content. SEO audits usually trigger robust content update programs. Such programs need you to identify web pages with high potential. Once these pages are updated, you usually then expect them to rank higher for relevant keywords and get more organic traffic. But updating older content may require a lot of time and effort, especially for large websites. Therefore, it is probably in your best interest to be strategic when it comes to choosing the right pages to update. We recommend prioritizing the following 2 types of pages. Web pages with high business value, for example, your product pages or the home page of your website, pages with high conversion rates, and so on, and or web pages that already rank on Google's first page between positions 5 and 10. It's common knowledge that the top 4 pages get the most clicks on the search engine results pages. Advanced Web Ranking conducted a case study that highlights steep gains from position 5 onwards in the SERPs. Point is, by specifically focusing on web pages that are already ranking on the first spot and pushing them up into the top 4 positions, you can get the maximum SEO benefits with relatively minimum efforts. And finally, number 8, broken links. These are super easy to identify and to fix, and again, there's no good reason why you shouldn't. They are only going to hurt you. It's important to remember that Google wants your website visitors to have a good user experience, and you probably do as well. So regardless of how informative your content might be, if your site offers a poor user experience, Google may not prefer it over other results. Now, if you've ever clicked on a broken URL, then you are well aware that they represent the exact opposite of a good user experience. It's a dud, an annoyance, 2 thumbs down. So be sure to identify all external and internal pages with the status code of 404, or broken links, and replace these links with active pages. In conclusion, SEO audits are terrific, but they can be overwhelming and have a tendency to throw lots of information at you simultaneously. So keep calm and carry on, pick your battles, be strategic, and identify low-effort fixes that can result in proportionally high SEO benefits. Feel free to check out our other videos so you can keep fine-tuning and getting the most out of your SEO. And click subscribe to stay updated with new tips and tricks to get you to the top of the search engine results pages.